What's up, family? It's your boy Melanated God King coming back at y'all with a part two of the reincarnation from the spirit to the body to death. Part two. Well, we're gonna recap just a little bit what we had learned from part one. That the spirit leaves the body and goes to the Most High. So if you go back to my previous teachings once before, you can get a full understanding and all that get a good understanding to see what is being said about how life goes, reincarnation, this that and the third, regeneration. So this my main kicker that everybody should go with what Paul was saying, teaching to the Corinthians. If you go to First Corinthians chapter 15 verse 38. But God giveth a body as it had pleased him, and to every seed his own body. All flesh is not the same flesh, but there is one kind of flesh of man, another flesh of beasts, another of fishes, and another of birds. There are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial. But the glory of the celestial one and the glory of the terrestrial is another. So you're dealing with the spiritual body, and you got the physical body. One is good in the other, one is good in another body, in one state. One in the spirit, one in the flesh. Spiritual, physical. You got to understand it's the balance. But what Paul is trying to break down to us right here. There's one glory of the sun, and another glory of the moon. What we got, which you know is the sun, means the light, and you got the moon, the light that comes within the darkness. What you're dealing with here is I'm gonna give y'all an ancient teaching on. Give y'all a brief. What I'm about to say, you get dealing with masculine, you dealing with the feminine, masculine and feminine, and the no glory of the stars. For one star different from another star in glory. The star systems. You know as what you're talking about, the planets, or you know as the stars. Each of them have different stages of light, different light spectrums that have the Most I have. How the Most I have them spread out, but they all correlate in one. It's the body. The head does not do what the body do, but they all work together. Cause this is being how can I say it, oh man, what's that word for it, what's they call it, one, oh man, basically it's just the kingdom, but one working with another, but then it all fulfills in one. Let's see. So also is the resurrection of the dead. It is sown in corruption. It is raised in incorruption. It is sown in dishonor. It is raised in glory. It is sown in weakness. It is raised in power. From one state to another, reincarnate. Like that, like I just said with the stumble, like one star is different from another, but they all come in one. But they all have one spectrum, oneness with how the Creator, how the Most High has set the boundaries, how they set them all up in order. Everybody understands the order, which they have the Most High set up. So we just gonna start right there. So now when we go back to Ecclesiastes 2 verse 21 to verse 22, you're gonna start to see what's being played out. Okay. For there is a man whose labor is in wisdom, and in knowledge, and in equity. Yet to a man that had not labored therein shall he leave it for his portion. This is also is vanity and a great evil. So if a man doesn't labor, don't put in work, and doesn't leave for it, nothing for his kids, for his family, he's considered evil. So what you worrying about is the physical aspect. So for what had man of all his labor and of the vestation of his heart, wherein he had labored under the sun. Everything is under the sun. Watch this. So let's go to Ecclesiastes 1 verse 3. What profit had a man of all his labor which he taken under the sun? Work. Okay. Let's go to chapter 3 verse 9 of the same book. What profit had he had worked in there went that wherein he labored. So what is it saying? Like labor is work. It's gonna make sense in a little bit. I might be jumping around, but watch how it's gonna come out to being. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go back. We're gonna go back to chapter 2, verse 22 to 23. Now we're gonna go down to 26. For what had man of all his labor in the vestation of his heart, wherein he had labor under the sun? For all his days are sorrows, and his travail grief. Yea, his heart taketh not rest in the night. This is also vanity. Watch this. There is nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor. This is also I saw that it was from the hand of God. For who can eat, or who else can hasten hereunto more than I? For God giveth to a man that is good in his sight wisdom and knowledge and joy. See, let me start right there. See, if you working, you doing what's good, you laboring, you eat good, you eating good, this, that, and the third, the Most High gonna grant you with wisdom. Gonna give you wisdom because you putting in work. And joy. But to the sinner he giveth travail to gather and to heap up, that he may give to him that is good before God. This is also a vanity and vexation of spirit. So the most, if you out here disobeying this, that, and the third, and wondering why, you have a lot of youngsters, people, and a lot of our people getting killed out here because we're not obeying. You're not obeying. You're not doing the will of the Most High. You out here just doing anything, just being having, what is that, a pride. I don't need all that, this, that, and the third. I'm doing my own thing. Okay, yeah, do your own thing, but then your own thing is gonna end in destruction. So you out here doing whatever, but it's like, come on. Then you have to come back and redo this all over again. Who wants to be in this state, in this low state, in this flesh, whereas we can move on to different galaxies that the Most High prepared for our spirit to learn and excel in our spirit in the spiritual realm. Because now I'm gonna say this here, and then it be times when the Most High will regenerate a spirit that has to get the message out, that has to get the melanated people back in order. Because a lot of, you see what religion does to the mind. It oppresses the mind. It worrying about too materialistic things and not the spiritual things. You see, You keep worrying about money, clothes, this, that, and the third. Then you'll come back to this life until not the body leave. The body goes to the ground, but the spirit goes back to the Most High. Then the body is already prepared. Sometimes, hey, and look, you keep being disobedient, you gonna live in the poor life. But if you striving, keeping a balanced life, living a good, being obedient, the Most High got you, then you might be in the life where you live at peace within yourself and live at peace with your family. You know, we have to obey the basic principles of this topic. We got to get the full understanding on. It's just about being disobedient, being obedience, or you're gonna be disobedient. Then your judgment is here. You're coming back into this flesh, and then you got to go through all the hell once all over again. Hey, you don't want that. You do not want that in your life. So, let's see. Okay, let's go to Proverbs 28, verse 8. He that by usury and unjust gain increasing his substance, he shall gather it for him that will pity the poor. See there? Okay. Okay, I just want to get the basic ones out the way. Let's go to Ephesians 5, verse 26. Just wanted to recap real quick. Ephesians 5, verse 26. Come on. Ephesians 5, verse 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word. That verse 27, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. The body. The church represents the body. Cleanness. Whereas the spiritual conquering the flesh. You feel me? The spirit conquering the flesh. No spot, no blemish. But the scars that we have on our body represents the hell that we go through in this life. So we have to be regenerated back into that low state. It reminds us where we come from. All the hell, all the trials and tribulations, dealing with all kind of spirits out here. Man, this is going crazy. Y'all know what's going on right now. Hey, we're gonna go 1 Corinthians 15, verse 50. Okay. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot enter to the kingdom of God, neither doeth corruption inherit incorruption. See there? See there? See, the flesh cannot enter to the kingdom of God. Only the spirit. See, the body goes back to the grave, and then the spirit goes back, which it's come from. We're gonna go to let's see, John chapter 3. Excuse me. John chapter 3, verse 7 through 8. John chapter 3, 7 through 8. Marvel not that I said unto thee, ye must be born again. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but cannot tell whence it cometh, and whether it go. So everyone that is born of the Spirit, you are born an atom. What you know as an atom molecule. You are born as an atom, then you work your way up, regenerated into the physical form. So let's go to Ecclesiastes 11 verse 5. As thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child, even so thou knowest not the works of God who maketh all. So let's go back to John 3 verse 9 through 11. And keep your finger there, put something like a marker there. Let's see. Nicodemus answered and said unto him, How can these things be? Christ answered and said unto him, Art thou a master of Israel, and knowest not these things? Man, saying like, man, you supposed to be one of the top teachers, man. How you don't know this, dog? How you don't know this basic? Man, it's basic. Very, very means covenant. I'm about to josh Christ about to drop some jewels on Nicodemus. I say unto thee, we speak that we do know, and testify that we have seen, and ye receive not our witness. If I told you earthly things, if I told you materialistic things, and ye believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things? How you gonna get the full understanding if you can't get this? How I'm gonna teach you about this? And no man had ascended up to heaven, but he that came down from heaven, even the Son of Man which is in heaven. See there? No man, the flesh. Man and woman the physical cannot go into the heavenlies. Because we are spiritual beings, in order to get back up to the heavenlies or the different kingdoms, the kingdoms of God, that the spirit gonna have to go up there. Let's see. Let me see. Matthew 11 verse 27. All things are delivered unto me of my Father, and no man knoweth the Son but the Father. Neither knoweth any man the Father save the Son, he to whomsoever the Son will reveal him. Because the Most High is him. We reincarnate. We are just like our Father. He is the Most High in the flesh. The Son, the Word was with God, which you know is when we bring it down with science. The Word represents the vibration and sound, and it manifests to the flesh. Okay. Let's see, John 3 verse 32. John chapter 3 verse 32. Let's see here. And what he has seen and heard, that he testified, no man received his testimony. He that had received his testimony has set his seal that God is true. For he whom God has sent speaketh the words of God, for God giveth not the Spirit by measure unto him. See there? The Most High will like certain times. It be times when certain stages the Most High will have you at that are you to like a measure of knowledge, a realm of knowledge. The Most High will take you through stages, cause it be times when uh certain teachings is not meant for everybody at that particular time, because you're not ready for that. Your mind is not ready to advance in particular knowledge, advance in certain times, reincarnate into certain time periods that the Most High will put you in, will put us in. So let's go back to, let's see, John 32. Let's go to the book of Acts chapter 2. No, John chapter 3, 12 through 13. Let's go back over there. I want to bring something back. If I told you earthly things and you believe and ye believe not, how shall ye believe if I told you heavenly things? You go through stages. You breaking down to understand the physical things. You got to know the spiritual aspect that's behind a lot of what's going on within the earthly realm. So we also dealing with science at the same time. When you start dealing with biology and other sorts of science, talking about the same thing with the spiritual realm. Okay, let's go to Acts 2 verse 34. For David is not ascending to the heavens, but he said himself, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou on my right hand, until I make thy foes thy footstool. See there? It's not talking about David when Dawid or Dawu in this ancient name, not saying the physical, but it's spiritual, talking about the root of David, the roots. How I said in the gene pool. That's a whole nother teaching that's reincarnated as well when you start dealing with the lineage as well. So I'm gonna get into that. Let's see. Ephesians 4 verse 9. Okay. Now that he ascended, what is it but that he also descend first into the lower parts of the earth? He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. And he gave some apostles, some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors, and some teachers. See there? Let's go read it again. Now that he ascended, what is it? But he also descended first into the lower parts of the earth, represents the grave. You're going down to the grave, but the spirit goes back to the Most High. He that descend is the same also that ascend up far above all heavens, that he might be filled, that fill all things. See that? You die. Spirit goes back to the Most High. Then it comes back again. The Most High might have sex you as a teacher, a physician, so forth and so on. Okay, let's see here. Let's go to I read that. James. Let's go to James 1 verse 5. Let's go to James 1 and verse 5. So, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth all to all men liberally, and upbraided not, and it shall be given, him. But let him ask in faith, not wavering, for he that waver is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. Okay, let's see. Let's see what verse I was supposed to go to. Let's see. My fault, family. Let's see. Okay, let's go. Okay, this is read verse. For let not the man think that he shall receive anything of the Lord. For a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. For let the brother of low degree rejoice in that he is exhausted. See that? From a low degree means a low state. A low state in mind, a low state in consciousness. But then when you start, once the Most High will take you through stages, reincarnate you through different stages in life, then let's see, rejoice in that he is exalted, high degree. Then you start working. You start working through the godhood, and then the goddesshood, even on the female side. Let's see, but the rich in that he made low, because as a flower of the grass he shall pass away. For the sun is no sooner arisen with a burning heat, but he withereth the grass, and the flower thereof falleth, and the grace of the fashion of it perish. So that also shall the rich, so also shall the rich man fade away in his way. See there? See the lot of that materialistic. The people that's up top, they gonna die too, and all that rich is still gonna be here. Let's see. Let's go to verse 12. Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which is the Lord had promised to them that love him. Let's see there. See? When you go through the stage and when you go through all the hell, then you start the crown of life. Then the wisdom and knowledge and understanding. Let's see. Okay, then let's see. Let's go to verse 18. Of his own will beget he us with the word of truth, that he should be a kind of first fruits of his creatures. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear and slow to speak, slow to wrath. You got my brothers and my sisters. Be careful. Watch what you have everything that you say. You gotta watch what you say to people and how you treat people. I must read it again. Wherefore, my beloved brethren, let every man be swift to hear, able to hear. All that getting, get understanding. He that has an ear, let him hear. Slow to speak, and slow to wrath. Watch your actions and what you do. For the wrath of man worketh not the righteousness of good. Meaning this, if you go off of anger, bitterness, you coming down to, you are working with a low degree. You working with a low state. God. Let's see. Wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word, which is able to save your souls. But ye be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own self. So you out here, you hearing, you doing all this, You hearing the word, you speaking the word, but you're not following you're not practicing what you preaching out here. You're not practicing what you teaching. It's a problem with that. Okay, we're gonna stop right there. Let's see. I want to get into the depths. Okay, we're gonna go to the Apocrypha. We're going to the Apocrypha. I know a little crazy, but this is the Apocrypha. I'm gonna explain this again. Nobody never heard this. The Apocrypha. If you go into 1611 King James Version Bible, which I do have, this in the middle between the Old Testament and the New Testament. This is what they took out in 1875. Okay, we're gonna get deep into the teachings here that I think we all need to know. Let's see. Okay, let's go to 2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 43 through 55. Okay. But the day of doom shall be the end this time, in the beginning of the immortality for to come, when corruption is past, interference is at the end, and definitely is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. So all this stuff that's going on, it's gonna pass on. But righteousness is going to prevail. Always remember that. Righteousness is always going to prevail. It's always going to exceed negativity. It's going to always exalt itself on top of evil. Let's see here. Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor to oppress him that had gotten the victory. I answered then, I answered then and said, "This is my first and last saying, that it had been better not to have given the earth unto Adam, or else when it was given him to have restrained him from sinning." Meaning this. Adam did, he didn't understand. Adam didn't understand what he was doing. All he had to do was basically follow one law. You know, that was it. We know the story already. But it's a deeper meaning that's for another time with that. For what profit, verse 47, for what profit is it for men now in this present time to live in heaviness, and after death to look for punishment? See the verse, let's see, verse 49, I'm just going to skip. For what profit is it unto us if there be promised us an immortal time, whereas we have done the works that bring death? And there is a promise us an everlasting hope, whereas ourselves being most wicked are made vain, and that there are laid up for us dwellings of health and safety, whereas we lived wickedly, and that the glory of the Most High is kept to defend them which have led a weary life, whereas we have walked in the most wicked ways of all, and that there should be shewed a paradise whose fruit endured forever, when the security of medicine, since we shall not enter into it. You keep doing so even the wicked, doing what's wicked, you got to pay for what you did as well. God, dog, excuse me, family. But let's go back to verse 49. For what profit is unto us if there be promise unto us immortal time? Immortal means your spiritual body. See, you got people out here that's doing wickedness. They gonna have to pay for that. And look, you know what's crazy out here? You might see people. They might look highly intelligent. They look. I'm talking about the top suits, Stacey Adams, Gators. You figure that they can't do no wickedness. You figure they had no wicked in their heart. But they got plenty hell, plenty wickedness that's in their mind that you wouldn't even have the thought of. Okay. I'm gonna bring a few more scriptures. I'm gonna bring about one or two scriptures. Let's see. Second Esdras chapter 2 verse 45 and Second Esdras chapter 7 verse 15. Okay. Let's see. Now therefore why excuse thyself, saying thou art but a corruptible man, and why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal? Mortal means of flesh. Let's see. Then let's go to 2 Esdras chapter 2 verse 45. 2 verse 45. He answered and said unto me, These be they have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of God, and that now are they crowned and receive palms. Let's see. Then verse 46. Then said I unto the angel, what young person is it that crowned them, and giveth them palms in their hands? I'm gonna read down to 48. So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of God, whom they have confessed in the world. They began greatly to commit them. They stood stiffly for the name of the Lord. Then the angel said unto me, Go thy way, and tell my people what manner of things and how great wonders the Lord thy God thou hast seen. See there, through all the hell, through all the hell that melanated people go through. Just know that the Most High really love us out here. That's it on the scriptures. I'm gonna come back with a part 3 in a little bit, probably so. But we're gonna get into some science. I'm gonna bring some more. I'm gonna come back with a part 3 in just a few minutes of this, because I'm bringing some more scriptures out. But let's see. Remember, this the book right here. Hey, y'all go get the book. Get the book. Trying to tell y'all, man, this the book. It's the book right here, baby. So what we know is, since we understand about the gene pool, talking about the seed, which is the black seed. The black seed, what I mean, and this seed period, when a man and woman comes together and makes a child. Then when the child is born, boom, 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 boom. That, go through the phases and go through, go through from a baby down to a grown man, old, then come back all over again. That's basically that's what reincarnation really is, but it's not a good thing. The good thing is to whereas we get our spiritual growth, so we can move on to move on whereas the Most High have different things for us that man has never seen before. That, like I said, you are not of this body. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Okay, you remember last time we did it where the dominant black gene is what the ancient scriptures call the throne of God. The body is called the temple of God. Remember that we are the throne in the temple of God. Remember that, okay? And the black gene is the throne upon which God is seated. Melanin. Without the dominant black gene, there is no throne upon which God can sit. In other words, God uses the black gene as the source for the creation of all living things. It is seed of the 144,000 aspects of God's goodness or morality. It is the central point from which the original phototypes of life are created. Each one taking its form according to each aspect of God's pure character, and each one also taking its coloring from the infinitude of colors contained in the black germ. The black germ, excuse me, man, I think I meant this no. Oh, the black germ, which means the different shades of brown. From from your darkest brown to you got to the light to your lightest brown, which you know as which dealing with the light skin and albino spectrum. Therefore, simply put, without the black germ, God could not incarnate a human body. She would be impotent, unable to create life, to give form and color to the universe, which I say create life. I don't mean reproducing babies. I mean creating animals and plants out of nothing, as described in the biology post. Biology means the chapter, in the chapter before, which I am going to elaborate on. Watch this. All the non-black people on the earth were made from black people. They were made not in the same way that the animals and plants were created, i.e., by giving form and color to new life, but rather they were made by removing color from their original black ancestors. The way the original ancestors removed color from themselves was by suppressing their own dominant black gene. Every black person has a dominant black gene and a recessive black gene. When the black gene is accidentally suppressed, then the light gene comes to the fore. For the child born to such parents among the black peoples is an albino. Now, a black albino, it still has the black gene, the seed of God, but it's suppressed at conception. It's possible to create even a suppressed black gene, but the albino would have to undergo extensive rituals and initiating to bring the suppressed gene back to the forefront, much more than in ordinary the case. In this case, so meaning this that when the albino, when it's talking about that means when the albino sleeps with a dark skinned woman, it would go back, and the seed would go back to the natural state, as with the color would be like a dark brown or black, which you know as a darker hue or darker shade of brown. Let's see. The light skinned races are different than black albinos, in that in them the black gene is completely absent. It takes exactly 7 generations of deliberate breeding to completely breed out the dominant black gene. That is how the first race light-skinned people was made 6,000 years ago or 8,000 years ago. I'm just adding because that's not in the book with the 8,000, because it's been researching that how 8,000 years ago where these people came from the first race. Hispanic / Latin Greek people were made from the second race. Semitics, Arabs, Jews, Persians. From there was made the yellow race, and then the yellow race was made the white race. All these races of non-blacks no longer have the black gene in them. This is the reason why no light race parents can never give birth to a black baby. You see that? Semites, a lot of ones that you see in present day, they cannot produce they cannot produce the black genes. Whereas let me give a good example. Like you see, like so called over in Jerusalem, like the no disrespect to nobody, that the like see. Let me just say this here, like the what you know is like the original Arabs, Persians, all the original Greeks and all of them are like the black people. They still over there. The original ones, they are black, but the lighter skin, that was the light skin ones, which you know as the so-called like Alexander the Macedonians. What they did was they had went to all these civilizations that was once black, and they mixed their seed and conquered and raped a lot of the women, and they mixed the seed in, and then the next thing you know, if the seed keeps going and going, it will breed out the black gene, the black gene or the black hue, but you still have but you still have original black people that's still in those lands today. But the camera doesn't focus on them, because then you have to explain. But then they have to explain the historical record on where, like, who are these people, which they do know, but they not gonna want to tell it, because then we got to get into some science and some history. Let's see. Because of the absence of the black gene, there is no throne in their temple. Means the body upon which God can be seated. Therefore, God incarnates only in black people. See that means you God, you a goddess, because the Most High really love us, man. We have to understand that we do not like. When they mean light skinned races, means like anybody that's so-called don't have no melanin in their skin. I'm sorry, but that's the way the Most High sets it up. If you got a problem with it, go. If you got a problem, go pray about it. Let's see. Any black person who feels even the slightest degree of discomfort when reading the above statement should know that this is caused by sympathy due to a lack of knowledge. See, they were not taught this. If all black people on earth regain the true knowledge of who God is and who is the devil is, they would immediately lose all sympathy for all the light-skinned races. The 1,000,000,008,000,000 original gods are the ones who incarnate on earth every time a black baby is born. They incarnate again and again endlessly. Their incarnation is not determined by biology lineage. It is preordained by them eternity long before they're born. The repeated incarnation of the 1,000,000,008 gods, original gods, and is the true form of the reincarnation. Every black person alive on earth today is an incarnation of one of the 1,000,000,008 original gods. We have incarnated times and again since the beginning of the universe. From the spiritual world to the physical. We always been here. Our spirits always been here. So that means, go write Psalms 82 verse 6. Ye are gods. Ye are children of the Most High. We ain't supposed to, we not every black person, whether you be in so-called over here in America, Africa, Indonesia, so forth and so on. The Most High really love. We just got to get rid of that. Get rid of that. The mindset on how we got to have sympathy for the ones that don't look like that's not melanated, man. You know, we treat people. We have to have respect. If we had respect for ourselves, we wouldn't be treating each other the way we do. How we do out here. Let's see. Not only not only do we incarnate on earth, but we also systematically incarnate on other earths throughout the universe. God, the black person, is not restricted to one location. Our incarnations transcend both time and space. All conclusion of the universe, when every earth that can be inhabited will be inhabited. There will be over 125 billion trillion inhabiting Earths in the universe, with each one having a population of 1,000,000,000 black people, all of whom are the incarnated personalities of the 1,000,000,000 original gods. That is you and me and every black person on earth. I hope that clarifies the falsehoods heard from New Age about reincarnation. That New Age, we coming back. We making that come back to the ancient knowledge of how the Most High said it, or how our ancestors from the Most High that taught us how we supposed to carry ourselves, how we supposed to pass down the ancient knowledge, the wisdom and understanding on every aspect and category of our life, how we do business, how we supposed to dealing with writing, exercise, fruit, how we eat fruit, this, so forth and so on. This is a lot of stuff that our ancient ancestors knew, but see, when you get conquered by the conquerors, and the conquerors rewrote history, then you have a problem. But see, that means this. They can do all that, but see, they have a problem. But see, one thing you trying to break our spirit. You cannot kill God. You can't kill God. You can't kill a goddess, a melanated god, a melanated goddess. Remember that. You can't kill us. We incarnate. The Most High really love us, and we have which as angels, Elohims that protect us, angels that watch over us and protect us. If we do things that's not the will of the Most High, the Most High will let one of them evil spirits, which as the low degree energies, come in and attack, bring heaviness, and look, this might sound crazy to everybody, the people that you might be around, the businesses that you may work at, you dealing with spirits on a daily basis, and a lot of our people don't really know it. You don't know where a lot of people be doing, how they live their life outside of the workplace, or what they be doing, and all kind of stuff. People be doing all kind of stuff out here. You don't know what's going on. Let's see. Let's get back. Okay. Okay. Let's see. The people reincarnating as us are the 1,000,000,000 original gods. That is you and me. That's you and me, black man, black woman. We have incarnated again and again, forming new personalities with every reincarnation. So that's what everything from one generation past, another generation comes forth. What the Most High was talking about in Ecclesiastes, and one from low degree to a high degree. Supposed to be ever learning. You're gonna be ever learning. Supposed to come out from one stage in life to another stage, getting high level of consciousness. Hang your spirit in line with the Most High on the exalted, on the higher degree. Therefore, our ancestors are ourselves as different personalities. You have incarnated countless trillions of times ever since you, along with the billionaire gods, created our universe. But each personality is an independent, separate individual exactly as you are today. All these personalities, our ancestors, continue to exist forever as individuals after ascending into eternity in the divine custodianship of the 24 elders of our earth. At the end of the universe, you will unite with all your incarnational personalities as well as each of the billionaire gods, even though there will be countless trillions of individual personalities, there will be your personalities, meaning as the original God, 1 billion 8. Again, there will be 1 billion 8 million gods manifesting in innumerable personalities, each one knowing himself or herself as the one and only God due to the indescribable state of divinity. Let's bring a scripture out to state that. Y'all go to Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 12. 12, 13 through 14. Yeah, 12. Let's see, 12. Ecclesiastes 12, verse 12 down to 14. And further, by these, my son, be admonished, for making many books there is no end, and much studies and awareness of the flesh. Verse 13, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Verse 14, but watch this. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or evil, whether it be good or whether it be evil. So, meaning this, everything that you did, all the things that you did is going to be bring back to your remembrance. And all the things you have to, all the things that you done in your past life and this one, that, you have to pay judgment. You're on the judgment seat then. Okay, you get with the biological incarnation. On the other hand, is a purely a recollection, a memory of the lives of our biological ancestors, never spiritual ancestors. The memory of the permanently recoded in our DNA. When a light race person sees these lives or relives, then in her mind she is now reliving her own past incarnation, because only the gods reincarnate. They are reincarnate only in black people. You see there? The black gods. The Most High love us. You got to understand. It's not about hating anything for real, but hey, I didn't write the book. I didn't set up. Look, I'm just reading. This is science. We're talking science and spiritual, not ancient spiritual knowledge. There is an eternal continually in the lives of black people caused by the repeated reincarnation of the same billionaire gods. There is no such continually in the light-skinned races. Every newborn one is a brand new with only biological ancestors, but not spiritual ones. No mind of God in them. At the end of the universe, long after the light races are extinct, their incarnational experiences will be taken by their maker, the God Yaku, who will permanently hold them for a process of his creation and possession. As to why the non-black races were created, I'll answer that when I talk about ascension and the true Israelites, the chosen people of Yahweh. Yahweh meaning the Most High Yah. love us, the melanated people. We got to get ourselves together. Worrying about all this stuff that's going on. We gotta get ourselves right with the Creator, with the Most High. Let's see here. We really have to. We all this stuff that's taking place. This is not our this. Sorry about that. This is not really our business. This not our this we this is not our foolishness. We got to get back and handle it within our community. We gonna have to set the standard for ourselves. Nobody can do it except for us. We have to love on one another. All that hate, this, that, and the third, put that to the side, man. That stuff is old. We weren't about jewelry. We weren't about all materialistic stuff. But then you gotta watch certain people out here. Cause some of us, we got a lot of us, they got the intention of wanting to do evil to one another, want to do this, that, and the third. Like, hey, man, you have to pay for that. Doing all that evil, talking down, trying to put something on somebody. Like, hey, man, look, y'all need to leave that stuff alone. For real. Let's see here. But okay, there's some ascension. We're gonna ascend back to the Most High. Let's get into this real quick. Ascension is the process whereby a person leaves his/her body and unites the mind with the minds of the elders of his or her tribe. You going back to the Most High. I'm gonna do another teaching on this probably next week or probably later on today. Let's see. In our natural ancient world before the appearance of the light races, all people died consciously, where they had completed all 7 great rituals of the Black Nation, meaning going through different stages of consciousness. 7 stages means completion. They soon thereafter decided it was time to ascend to eternity. They simply laid down their bodies while perfectly conscious, their mind expanded until it united with the minds of the 2 elders of their tribe. See there? Whew. Man, this in an instant of unity, the magnetic connection, the so-called spiritual cord that linked them to the physical body is severed automatically, and the body is permanently abounded and left to be buried by the family and friends. Today, people ascend the same way, but they do so unconsciously. Moreover, they died not their own choosing, but they either by accident, disease, or other causes. See there? See there? I'm gonna stop it right there. See there? Back in the ancient world, even when they went to war, so forth and so on, they understood the process as well. They understood the process. I just want y'all, this is not about being prejudice. This is what truth. I did not write the documentation. I didn't write none of this science. I'm just reading what's in the scriptures, and I'm reading what's within the book. That we have to get back on we got to get back to knowing ourselves. Know yourself, then you'll know God. The God is within you. Our ancestors live within us, so that ancient knowledge is still there. They just trying to suppress it and oppress and have these demonic spirits out here, having heaviness, depression, reptilian spirits, and this, that, and the third. Want to suppress and to keep our minds in a low state where we got to exalt You have the power and authority to come out of that, but you got to first get your mind right with the Most High, and then show you the avenues, the different holes, different pitfalls that they will try to put you in. But you will have the Spirit, which is the Holy Spirit, the Ruach Kadesh, or the Sakim is able to teach you how to teach you to watch what Satan is trying to do out here. And watch the loopholes what these people had put in place. These people out here put in place to keep us down. But we have the power and authority. We, the melanated people, we have the power and authority to command, because this is ours. This our planet. We run this. But they are using our spirit. They are using our energy to put out a negative to affect, to bring corruption into this in our own. In our own, not to our own bodies, but to our own communities everywhere across the planet. Remember this: keep it melanated, love the Most High, and you love yourself. Love yourself as the God, and God is within you. Peace and love.